Today, we're talking about 5 truths about your mind that most people never realize. And I want to start by saying something that took me a long time to understand. Most of us grew up believing that when we feel anxious or overwhelmed or stuck, those feelings mean something is wrong with us. So we spend years trying to manage our thinking, control our emotions, and work on ourselves. I did that for a long time. But what if the opposite is actually true? What if the system you've been trying to fix is already designed to work perfectly on its own? Well, that's what this video is about. 5 simple truths about how your mind actually works. Truths that have helped me to understand why thinking can feel chaotic one moment and completely clear the next. My name's Wendy. I've coached many people to see more clearly, lead wisely, and love better. And this is the work I do every day. All right, let's dive in. Truth number 1, your state of mind changes everything. Everyone has had this experience. You wake up in the morning and your day hasn't even started and it already feels crappy. Your thoughts start racing, telling you stories. Maybe things aren't working out. Maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe my future isn't going the way I hoped. And in that moment, those thoughts, they feel completely real. I mean, getting out of bed feels like the last thing you want to do. But then something strange happens. Maybe an hour later, a few hours later, or maybe the next day, your mood shifts. And suddenly the same thoughts, well, they don't seem nearly as true. Like, have you noticed this? You can lie awake at night thinking about your life, your work, your relationships, and everything feels uncertain. But the next morning, after a good night's sleep, those same thoughts, they don't seem nearly as serious. Now notice, nothing in your life actually changed overnight. The only thing that changed was your state of mind. And here's what I want you to hear. When your mind is in a low state, the thinking that shows up there looks like reality, but it isn't. It's just low quality thinking. And it really looks like the truth. And the mistake that most of us make, it's a misunderstanding. And I shared this misunderstanding for years, is trying to solve our lives from that low state of mind. Sometimes, well, always, the wisest thing you can do when your mind is low and you're feeling in a low mood is simply not trust the thinking that shows up. Truth number 2, your mind knows how to settle on its own. Like, think about a snow globe. If you shake it, everything inside goes cloudy and you can't see anything. But if you just set it down and leave it alone, the snow settles on its own and you can clearly see what's inside. Your mind works the same way. When we feel stressed or overwhelmed, our instinct is to do something. So what do? We start thinking more. We analyze the situation. We try to figure it out. And here's what I notice. It really doesn't make sense to do more thinking from that insecure, stirred up place. We're not going to find the answers we're looking for. The more we shake the globe, the longer it stays cloudy. But your mind has an incredible built-in ability to return to clarity on its own if you stop shaking it. Clarity is always close at hand. Wisdom, common sense, resilience, happiness, joy, well-being are always close at hand. Clarity is a universal resource. And when your mind is clear, you have everything you need for whatever is in front of you. Regardless of what's going on, you have everything you need. Truth number 3, you are not your thoughts. I want you to try something right now, or maybe after you finish listening to this video. Sit quietly for a few moments and just watch your thinking. You'll notice something interesting. A thought appears, and then another one, and then another one. Now, you didn't decide to create those thoughts. They just showed up. And if you keep watching, well, they'll pass on their own too, which really means something important. If thoughts can appear and disappear without you controlling them, they cannot actually be who you are. Most of us grew up believing that our thoughts define us. And if a worrying thought appears, well, we think it means something. If a self-critical thought appears, we believe it must be true. But thoughts are neutral, like weather passing through the sky. Sometimes the sky is clear. Some days the clouds roll in. But the sky itself is never damaged by the weather. Your mind can experience anxious thoughts, sad thoughts, chaotic thoughts, worrisome thoughts, without any of that saying anything about who you really are. And when people really see this, something inside of them shifts. They stop fighting every thought that appears because they realize they don't have to. Truth number 4, resilience is not something you build. Most people believe resilience is something you develop over time, that life's challenges slowly make you stronger. But if you look closely at your own life, you might notice something interesting. Every difficult moment you've experienced eventually passed. Every emotional storm eventually moved through. And somehow, even without knowing exactly how, your mind found its way back to balance. Now, you didn't construct that. It just happened. Resilience isn't something life gives you. It's something life reveals. It's already here. Truth number 5, well-being is not something that you have to work towards. This one changes things for a lot of people. Most of us spend years chasing well-being. We think we need to create happiness, build peace, achieve clarity. But what if well-being isn't something you have to build? What if it's simply what remains when your thinking settles? Underneath the overthinking, underneath the emotional storms, there is a natural sense of clarity and balance already present in you. You're not trying to build a healthy mind. You're uncovering the one you already have, which means something very important is you are not broken. Your mind is doing what minds do. You are the creator of your experience. And before we finish, there's something I want to point out about everything we just talked about. When people believe their thoughts are the problem, they often start trying to fix themselves or fix the people around them. But as you begin to understand how we create our human experience and how the mind actually works, you start seeing yourself differently and seeing other people differently. You begin to notice when someone is fully present in a relationship and when something inside them has quietly pulled away. And that shift happens long before anyone says a word. In this next video, I'll show you the subtle moment someone checks out of a relationship and why most people miss it until it's too late.